Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like tonight's film. This is 1980's The Seduction of Cindy. This is part of the Peakorama Big 2 Unit show from Vinegar Syndrome with Tara. But for tonight, we're looking at The Seduction of Cindy, this one right here. And this stars, both of them on here star Seika and Veronica Hart. But The Seduction of Cindy, it says you've gotta have heart, and Seika's got her. So The Seduction of Cindy was directed by Leonard Kurtman, who is a name in New York sex films. And this is an 80-minute film from 1980. And it does star Seika and Veronica Hart, as well as Serena, Jamie Gillis. We have Samantha Fox in here, and you're going to recognize some other faces as well. This film, yeah, we have Bobby Astor in here as well. I'm just Merle Michaels, yeah, Ron Jeremy's in here as well. So it's a pretty all-star cast in here. The Seduction of Cindy is one of those films that just has great vibes about it. It has excellent acting in it. It has breaking of the fourth wall. It has storytelling. It has kind of dealing with past, present, and future within the storyline of the movie. We have the aspect of a marriage. We have the aspect of kind of free love and swinging. We have a wife that is a little frigid with her sexuality. We have interesting aspects of the wife working in a movie editing lab. So you see her with reels of film, you see her watching the film, you see her kind of with the reels all over the place in the way that film used to be edited. So really interesting aspects to a character in the film, and just the nature. There's a scene in the film where she's kind of editing a film, quickly, and you hear her kind of make some judgments with the film in the way that an editor would. And so really interesting how that's done and how it's portrayed in the film. I notice sometimes that in hardcore films, you'll have kind of the editing lab or the aspect of making film as a storyline sometimes. And I know that where they edited these films, and they were, being broken up by vice squads and stuff, and they weren't really legal, they had to be creative with the editing of these films and who they went to and so on and so forth, I guess. When I was listening to the behind the scenes of Confessions of a Teenage Peanut Butter Freak, I believe it's called, they kind of gave you some of those aspects of the editing and the editing world for X-rated films. The Seduction of Cindy has romance. It has really wild, free sexuality, and the aspect of just sexual freedom and swinging. And also, as I make connections with some of Jess Franco's films with free love, but also the aspects of kind of nymphomania and orgies and all of this, but also the aspects of the opening of a frigid person to this world, almost in a way that popping her cherry into the world of free love. but then also how it can backfire, which is also an area that you see in Jess Franco's films, as I mentioned his name, which is interesting, like in his film Cecilia, which I've looked at on this YouTube page. And so you see a husband who wants his wife to be more open, and it's fun. And then some of the conclusions also in there as well. We have aspects of heterosexuality and lesbianism and the freedom in that. Jamie Gillis is in this film, and I have to mention there are a couple interesting things with Jamie Gillis in here if you watch him really closely. Now, I know he did gay porn as well, but in this film, he does a couple things, kind of, in the background, nothing too much in the foreground, but he does a few things in here that are rather interesting for a straight porn film. Just a couple things with his hand, a couple things of the way he kisses, who he's kissing, stuff like that. There's a couple very interesting things in here, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Jamie Gillis getting pretty wild in another way in The Seduction of Cindy. Like I said, in the background a bit, but if you're paying attention to him, you'll oh, that was interesting, I have to make mention of the way the sex scenes are shot in this film. They are very powerfully done, very, very sexy. The first sex scene of the film is amazing, a lesbian scene, amazing. And it's so amazing because the acting is so amazing, because Seika is incredible, because Veronica Hart is freaking incredible. So far, this is my favorite Veronica Hart film, hands down. I still have to see Terra Terra Terra, which is on here, and I'll look at that on this page in the future. But so far, this is my favorite Veronica Hart film, and I've seen her before. She's amazing in here. And the way the sex scenes are shot, you get amazing 69 scenes, amazing cum shots, the women coming as well. You have... they're just like really just like dripping sweaty sex, like in the most fervent way possible, if that makes sense. I mean, very, very full of sexual power, energy, all of that, and very, very hot. And I have to say, Seika and Veronica Hart, if you like butts, you're going to love them. If you like breasts, you're going to love them. Just wild, wild stuff in here. Almost the sex scenes in this film almost reminded me of like Alex Lorenzi's style in some ways. Now, I have to make mention of the music in this movie. The music in this movie is incredible. Absolutely incredible. It is funky, groovy, in your face, hot, jazzy, sultry, sleazy, powerful sleazy, powerful sexy, again, musically, not just stylistically in the sex scenes of the film. Just like the coolest of the cool, crazy. Like, turn the volume up and have the music playing at a, just in general, or at a party. It's incredible. It's the penultimate of groove, funk, jazz, sick, cool. This is it right here. And there's also some very bizarre, almost like voiceover moaning going on in here as well, which is interesting, from the guys and the girls. And you'll hear it, and it's louder than other things. And it's interesting that it happens at times. I'm not exactly sure why. But it's in there. Serena looks amazing in here. She's a black wig, so she has a totally different look in here. And yes, we have a swingers party as well. This is The Seduction of Cindy, 1980, 80 minutes long. This is an awesome, awesome movie. It's lighthearted, it's comical, it's very, very hot, and it has a awesome de-virginizing in another sexual way aspect to the storyline, which can also be very hot for a lot of people. And a woman coming out of her shell, so to speak. And really, the title has a lot to do with what the film is really seducing this woman, men seducing this woman, women seducing this woman. And just in the seduction and the desire of this woman, it's awesome. And then in the woman opening and breaking out of her shell, it's awesome as well. Again, it sells so great because of the acting as well. Great kind of love triangles and Samantha Fox in here, by the way, she is completely ravenous near the climax of the film. She is like crazy. Keep your eyes peeled in the last 10 minutes of the film of what Samantha Fox is doing. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. And it's pretty awesome also that the camera kind of starts to focus on Samantha Fox near that time in the film. And we have kind of a funny twist ending to the movie as well, and a great breaking of the fourth wall at the end of the movie also. This is The Seduction of Cindy from 1980, directed by Leonard Kurtzman. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarre YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like The Seduction of Cindy. Oh, and did I mention, wait, the freaking coolest theme song ever that is talking about Cindy. It's the best freaking almost 80s teen sex comedy sounding song ever, and it's the theme song to this film. Yeah. Please feel free to check out my personally made films and music by following me at my Vimeo site, www.vimeo.com/poopydiarrhea, POOPYDIARRHEA. Thank you so much, and good night.